All right, we're in a she shed. And, oh, good, no Lord. They're so pretty. So we are 1, 2, 3 boards over, right at the board. And there they are. Man, that's a good size hive. All right, good times. Here's the chamber. The bees be down there. So here's the she shed. The water source here is going to be probably irrigation and a really sweet pool. So here we go. And there they are. Lots and lots of bees. And a really nice size hive. Excellent. Chicks are clogging my vacuum. There's a lot of them. Great population. So, man, that's a massive amount of bees. It really is a lot compared to the size of the hive. So I've done a lot of vacuuming on this thing, and they're clogging my vacuum real bad. There's that many bees for that little tiny size hive, and I can see the entrance, so I can see the light. That's where they're coming in at. No sign of a queen yet, but she's there. That's definite. It's just such a small hive, and what I'm seeing is this over and over again this part of the year. Is most of that hive is robbed out. There's a tiny bit of like bee bread and stuff, but yeah, not a lot of honey. Probably not any at all, I don't know. But there's a bunch of bees in the back there, and I'm still sucking. So, good times, good times. No. You know, the ancients really felt like if bees were in your life, it was a sign of abundance and sometimes even wealth. These young ladies had plenty of bee bread, but with all the hive that I've taken out, I don't see any brood. So I'm wondering if this might just be something that was just setting up. This young lady hasn't been in this house a long time. I wonder if somehow energetically the wealth and abundance brought the bees. But I've got most of the stuff out. I haven't seen a lot of drones, and I haven't seen any signs of actual like brood. But there's this. These young ladies will never quit teaching me, and I'm a sucker for a good lesson. So that's just way too many bees for the size of that hive with no brood. I don't know if this is a swarm that just moved in and was starting to set up shop or what, but it's one of the more interesting removals I've done, that's for darn sure. Here's the area where the hive was. You see the wax is still there. There's a lot of bees on the other side, down into the dirt, because you know they're actually ground dwellers. But I see most of them try to escape over there. But with the amount that I have in my bucket, man, we got a couple of sources for entry here that will need to be mitigated. And I would suggest this whole area get filled with rock or insulation or something. But at very least, definitely fill the area with something, and maybe something they don't like the smell of. You know, lavender, mint, things like that. All right, so here's what I'm talking about. Most of the time when I get to a hive, I find that there's obvious signs of a laying queen and brood, but this hive is a little different. It's a very, very big population, but it's not a lot of not any brood to see. A lot of bee bread. So I know that, you know, I'll see on my boxes where they'll store in different areas, and I'm wondering if there's a bigger hive around here maybe, and this is just some storage, or if this is a swarm that just came off. If you're in a beekeeping business or know things about it, make some comments, you know, down below. Hit that stuff and we'll talk about this. It's an interesting hive, that's for certain. But it's not easy to do this, and I'm a mess. I'm gonna stop and drink some water here. Good times. So here's the back door of that hive, well, the front door, whatever you want to call it. You know, I look for where are they coming from, where are they going to. Isn't that a Dave Matthews song? But yeah, so I'll bet you donuts to dollars there's a house right next door, and it's got some roof damage. I will bet you there are bees up in that roof. I'm just making a suspicion here. They got some really sweet trees that the bees love around here. So I'll bet you anything that there's that hive is like storage. We'll see. And then there's that. Hello, Bee Hotel.